Hi, we're live. It is now 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So good morning, everybody. And well, it's actually 11:03, so I'm a couple of minutes late, but I love daylight time. I love the light, but the first couple of days are a little bit rough because it's really 10 o'clock. So for those of you that are coming in now, welcome. Thank you for joining us for Tarot Time this morning. If it's not 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time right now and you're watching this as a video rather than a live event, which is fine. It's the same information. So in the first minute or two, I'll just say hi, greet people. At about 5 to maybe 7 after, I'll actually start the tarot work, just so everybody knows it's coming in. So, firstly, hello. God, I'm even more farsighted because I just had my left eye done to remove a cataract, so I have to get new reading glasses. So everything close up is a fuzz. But I see Judy, Susan, Janice, Wendy's in. Kim is in. Hi, Kim. If you guys, hi, Chris, also, and Yvonne. Anybody that's new, or if you just want to let us know where where you are in the world, please feel free to introduce yourself and welcome. The medium channel is really about awakening. So my work here is to help you to awaken and to come into your higher self and your higher reality during this time when we're in a great awakening here on planet Earth. So there's a big growth spurt that we're having as humans, and there's a lot of growing pains and a lot of changes going on in society. So one of the reasons that I do the tarot time on Sundays is just to kind of give a little bit of a glimpse of what's going on in the next week energetically for us, for society, for us as a collective. And we have a busy week coming up. In fact, happy new moon, everybody. The new moon in Pisces hit yesterday. I don't have my ephemeris. I don't know exactly what time that was. So we're in the new moon energy now. Tonight or this evening at 7 Eastern Daylight Time, Heather Estara, who's the healer at Between the Worlds, and she also edits my videos. So she's kind of like the power behind the scenes of the medium channel right now. She and I are going to do an event on Zoom. So I do an energetic transmission where I work with spirit or energies and transmit it to everybody that's joining me, either in the present moment or even in the future. It's the same energy. And then Heather does a similar thing, but she does more of a group healing. So this is like an energetic transmission that we're doing for healing and for energetic upgrades. And last time they had me, I guess, download light codes, and I didn't even know what those were. I had to look up what are light codes because I'm doing the channeling. They're saying we're gonna download light codes now. I'm like, all right, what is that? So apparently they're light codes are language and frequency or energy was the best way I can describe it. So different light codes have a different vibration or an energetic frequency that activates with their own vibratory fields and brings us closer to our closer to spirit or closer to our higher selves. So that's tonight at 7. It's on Zoom. So email us if you want to come in to get the password and the meeting ID. The email is info@atombetweentheworlds.com. So that is Sunday, March, what day are we today? The 13th, I think. Or is it the 14th? Anyways, it's tonight, Sunday at 7 Eastern time. Then on Wednesday, I'm going to do some channeling right here on the channel, right on the medium channel. So I'll do an energetic channel there for, to help us again to upgrade our both our biological and our energetic systems to be able to handle and to be able to move higher frequencies of energy through our body and into our reality. And this is going to help us to heal. It's going to help us to ascend, and it's going to help us to be stronger in manifesting our reality, because everything's energy. So the more focused we are on what we desire and acknowledge that all possibilities exist, the more easily we manifest that into our physical reality. Then on Sunday, the 21st, the day after the equinox, I'm going to do my next live mediumship work right here on the channel. So I do messages for about an hour from the other side. And if you're one of the fortunate ones, you might actually get a message. It's all free on the Medium channel. Feel free to join us. So my next question is do we drink coffee, tea, or are we caffeine free in the morning? This morning I had tea. Usually it's green tea with green tea and ginger tea. Today, because I didn't really sleep last night. In fact, I haven't really slept much all week. And then, of course, getting up at 8 a.m. was really getting up at 7 a.m. because the clocks went ahead. So anyway, I had some black tea this morning. Now I'm on water, and then I do my cold showers in the morning. All right. So given the fact that we just switched to daylight time, there's probably not going to be a lot of people live today. Probably most people are going to catch this as a video. Right now we're at 20, so we're usually about 35 for these events. So expected, but everybody that's here, either presently or in the future, are meant to be here because it's it's tarot reading, but it's also our kind of our collective consciousness expressions of what we need to know and what we need to know from spirit. So hi Cody, hi Carla, hi Michael, hi Janice again. I think I said hi to Janice already. Oh, we're up to 23. Oh, we just dropped down to 22. Somebody didn't like that. All right, so the first order of business is I wanted to pull a meditation card. And do I want to say anything about the cards? Yes, I do actually. 'Cause I like to do a little bit of a mini tutorial, and for some reason Spirit showed me roses, so maybe I'm supposed to further talk about the suit cups, and that would make sense because cups represent water. We're in the sign of Pisces. The moon is I don't know if it's moved out of Pisces yet or not, but we just had the new moon in Pisces, and we're late enough in the cycle that we probably either the moon's probably void, of course, or already went into Aries, but it's still a Pisces new moon. Cups are about emotions and feelings and water. So when you get a lot of cups in the tarot reading, there's some messages involving like your emotions and what we feel we make real, because emotions, it's the letter E in the word motion. So it's energy and motion. So so what we think affects how we feel. So our thoughts are of the mind, but our emotions are of the body, right? So when we have an emotion, different hormones fire through the body, and a lot of people kind of get stuck in fight or flight emotions, like fear-based emotions. And I'm not saying that negatively, by the way, because it's actually snowing out. That's why I keep looking up out the window. It's actually snowing right now. We were even in the Catskills. We were 70 degrees a couple of days ago. But fear's not a bad thing. If you're being chased by a tiger, it's good to have fear, because what happens is you release a lot of cortisol. You release a lot of adrenaline. Your mind becomes super aware. You become hyper aware and alert in the present moment, and that can save your life. The problem is, in this complicated society and all the brainwashing, all the social conditioning, programming, whatever you want to call it, we start to have these fear-based fight or flight emotions when we need to say, talk to our bosses, or if our spouses or us are having a problem, or if a stock went down or something like that. And then when it's a genuine threat, this is good. But when it becomes habitual, it starts to affect our body. It starts to wear down our cellular structure. So we want to really, with when a lot of cups are coming up in a reading, it's it's often Spirit's way of saying to look at what you're feeling and how that's affecting your reality, because it's energy, and everything's energy. And it's proven now through science, or at least the theory is there's a lot of evidence. I don't know if I can claim it's been proven or not. I'm not a quantum physicist. I just love it, and I read a lot about it. But it's been validated that what we think and feel has the power. Actually, it has been proven through Dr. Emoto's water experiments, amongst other things. And what we feel affects physical reality around us. It affects the cellular or the molecular structure of things. And atoms are 99% empty space, but it's not really empty space. What exists within those fields of what appears to be empty space is frequency, it's energy. So atoms can exist as wave, as particle, or as wave, and both. So when we change the wave or the energy, we affect the particles, and over time we affect our reality. So what we feel day in and day out, we start to modify our environments in our world and actually change our reality. So that's really what law of attraction is about. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Suit of Cups. And I want to pull up a meditation card for this group for the coming week. And we are in a new lunar cycle. Mercury's out of its shadow. There's no planets in retrograde. So this is a good month to get things done. Because starting in, I don't have the dates. I don't think Sharita Starr, my amazing genius astrologer friend and numerologist, is not on to give us the details, unfortunately. But anyways, I'm going to pull a meditation card for us for this group as well. Okay, so my train of thought is back. We were talking about there's no planets in retrograde. So everything's very progressive, a really good time to get things done. And then I think in April, maybe in May, things slowly start to go back into retrograde. And come June, we got about half the planets in retrograde again. Wow, this is a very good card to come up. Aces are new beginnings. Pentacles are about the body. They're about form. They're about the physical environment. Sometimes it's about money and work or stuff like that. Now, the way that I like to meditate with tarot cards and the way that I teach, and I have a 4-part tarot class available for purchase. That's basically a Zoom class that was recorded, so you can info it out in between the worlds if you're interested in that also. Aces are new beginnings. And the way I like to meditate is I kind of visualize the card. Now, you can use this. This is the Hanson Roberts deck. If you have tarot card, you can pull your own Ace of Pentacles and just kind of get a snapshot in your mind of the card, then go into meditation and feel yourself entering the card. So if you want to take this as a scene, but this is about maybe stretching 2 or 3 degrees, and the panoramic view is 360 degrees. So basically, most of the scene you can't see. So you can look at this as a window that goes into a new scene. So you enter into that new scene, and then you start to experience with all your senses what's going on around the scene. Like on the other side, there may be an ocean that you can't even see because you're seeing. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. So you step into the card, and you start to see, feel, touch, taste, and sense everything that's going on and become part of that scene and be immersed in that scene, and then see what happens in the scene. You may get people coming in, you may get different scenes that are coming up. You may meet with your guide, you may get insights, you may get messages, and that's how you meditate with tarot cards. And you can ask, like, what do I need to do, or ask Spirit what direction I need to go in. So again, this is basically, it's our foundational meditation card. This is also telling us to be in our lower chakras, because it's about the earth. Pentacles is about the earth. When we go on, although the paradigm's changing, but I know for myself, as I started to meditate and do this, I had an awakening when I was 19. I'm 62 now. And not a heck of a lot was known about what happened when you have an awakening, that you access the quantum field. And for a split second, the entire universe was revealed to me. It's like I knew the universe for a microsecond, and then I came out of that just thinking everything I thought was real is BS. That was like the thought I had. Yeah, and I was crying too. It's like everything I've learned up until now was a complete lie. Now I need to learn the truth, and my spiritual journey began. But I didn't know what the quantum field was. I mean, now, today when we have awakenings, there's people that can tell you what's going on, that you're accessing God, basically, your spirit, but it's not so mystical. It's scientific. It's just part of nature that we generally are closed off to. So when we start to meditate and open our consciousness, we start to open up to these fields of energy, to spirit or to God. So anyway, point being is that there's a tendency for people that do a lot of spiritual work to be more in their upper chakras. And then when you're not in your lower chakras, you're not grounded. And then you start to become maybe more like the negative side of being empathic, like being overwhelmed by other people's energies or your environment, rather than being more the master of your own environment. So when you go into your lower chakras, in Kundalini yoga, we call it the lower triangle. It's sort of like the root, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus. And when we go into those chakras, we can be sensitive, but we can be grounded and strong, like a tree that has deep roots will bend in the wind, but it won't break. But these white pines that are very shallow roots, they'll come down in the storm. So you want to be more like the oak trees, deep roots, yet the branches go high up into infinity. So as part of your meditation, I would suggest doing some grounding work also as part of the meditation for the week. All right. So next step of tarot time is to work with a 3-card spread and just kind of see what's going on with us in our world as a collective that's watching this either in this present moment or future present moment, or what trends are going on in the world. I forgot what it was, but something that came out last week, came to pass. I forgot what it was. Oh, well. Anyhow, mixing cards up. So I'm asking Spirit to give us what we need to know with a 3-card spread. And so I always pull with my left hand, and that's taught in a lot of tarot courses. The left side connects to the right hemisphere of the brain, which is the more intuitive side. So these are the 3 cards. I have my trusty clipboard. Lots of aces coming. Oh, I got 4 cards today. So instead of a 3-card spread, we get a 4-card spread this week. I didn't even realize I was doing that. So notice I was kind of working with Spirit before, saying what did we want to talk about just in a split second. They said talk about the cups, right? The emotions. So we have 2 out of 4 are cups. And the Chariot is the sign Cancer. So that's kind of a water card also. So it's interesting that it's reflected. Now, this 9 of Swords, 9s are about completions. I believe this is key 7. That's the Chariot. Yeah, it is. So we have 9, 7s, and 1s. 9 and 7 are both very intuitive numbers. 1s are new beginning. Cups are about emotion. Cups can be about love also. So one of the things is that we may find is this group that we have a very kind of a heart-centered kind of a week, or being called upon to really work with the heart chakra and really work with compassion. And I think in the news around us, though, the 9 of Swords can be a little bit of a worrisome card, and sometimes that comes up when we're having like sleep issues. Like I've had this whole week where I rarely go to bed before 2 a.m. and I've been up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, really not going back to sleep fully after that. So I've been kind of going on 2-3 hours of sleep basically all week. And it's just been energy. I can't explain it, but it's just kind of like I wake up and I just feel like a lot of energy around me. And I think it's kind of that we're sort of coming to the next phase of this whole process of dealing with the pandemic. And as vaccines become more available, I think there's going to be a lot more um, noise about the pros and cons of getting vaccinated and everything, and that's going to kind of open up that whole debate again. I believe, because I think it's going to go into the next phase where more people are going to have access to the vaccine. So, we may find that that there's a few things that come up in the news, or if you're on Facebook, you may see more things that aren't getting censored anyway. You may see more posts about the issues that are going on. But this is this all feels very faith based to me also, and I feel like we're also going to get some news or a heads up on what are the right words, and just more of like the kind of the more compassionate side of all the problems. So we may get some news about things like I don't know what the right words are. I apologize. It's like really coming down now. It's like really snowing out. And snow is very cleansing. Snow is crystals basically, because they're water crystals. So one of the reasons people are drawn to the snow is when you're out in the snow, you're surrounded by millions of tiny little crystals. So that's kind of cool. But this is softer energy, and I think it's like giving us more of a sense of hope, and I think they were going to feel like something's being done, not just to control a virus or whatever, but to really work with humanity. So it kind of gives me sort of a humanitarian feeling, and this is kind of a twofer. So the King of Cups, I mean, that could also represent the government or the president to some degree, even though that's you wouldn't necessarily think of cups. This is just sort of my perception, because I've seen Joe Biden in my mind when I'm talking about this. So there may be like a talk or some news that comes out about something that the government's planning or doing. This may have to do with the stimulus checks also, but I think it's more about protocol and safety, I want to say, as well. So, I mean, there's a little bit of stress and anxiety that's sort of shown through the Nine of Swords, but it's also the Nines of completion, and that's kind of leading into the week. And the Chariot is about movement, and it's about choices. And this could also be that we have different options of how we want to handle our lives, amidst of what's going on in the collective. And with the Chariot, it's like different paths, but it's not saying that one's right or one's wrong. It's just like what's right for you. And this Ace really gets my attention. And this King, even though it's the King, there's like one cup in that also as well. And Aces are really about the self. It's the number one. It's about the individual. It's also about collective, because even though we're individuals, we're part of a collective also. And it kind of gives me the feel about really going within now and really trusting your own intuitions. And I feel like through these cards, they're kind of telling us maybe to take a little bit of a break from social media, or a little bit of a hiatus, and give yourself time to really go within, because whether it's social media or the media or whatever, there is that agenda to well, I'll say brainwash, for lack of a better word right now. Well, or we could say to direct traffic. So we're all programmed, and there's a lot of subliminal stuff that goes on, even the language that's used, the inflections in people's voices that are giving the information. They all have an effect on our psyche, and things that are going on. And this isn't just now, it's just more intense. But there's always been this small group of people, the elite or whatever you want to call them, that have all the resources, that control the money, that control the flow of power on the planet. They don't want to lose that power. So we may find that okay, what was I going to say? That we need to separate from that for a while and really start to reconnect with our own values, basically, as well. I have a feeling we're going to gear up for a very changeable and a pretty intense spring. I feel like these cards are telling us go within for now. It's a little bit more peaceful, go within and to really, rediscover who you are, basically. And I think that that's the underlying message with that as well. So I want to just turn this around to see if I get anything else. And I'm looking at this, for some reason, I'm seeing Russia. There may be some news about Russia, or maybe more cooperation, with other countries that we perceive as not our friends, I want to say as well. And other than the Nine of Swords, which tends to worry or whatever, I mean, these feel like good cards. I feel like it's Spirit's way of saying, hang in there, that we're coming to a point where, I mean, the main thing that's been on our plate, and we're very close to the year anniversary when the lockdown started, right? So it's kind of like there's a lot of hopefulness because, cases or new cases started going down in January, kind of just as a natural progression of how viruses work. People develop immunity. Some people have had it more than once, but they're still developing immunity. Then you couple that with a vaccine that's kind of helping to stem the tide, so to speak, and change the direction of the tide or the course of what's happening with the pandemic. So I think just between the two, that it's kind of running its course anyway, and then there's the catalyst of the vaccine. I think it's just giving us a sense of cautious optimism now, and I think again, Spirit's way of saying, it's about the individual. King is about rulership. So I think it's just saying this is a good time to really work on your own self mastery, and because it's cups, it's emotions, and we can, in the heat of the moment, control our emotions, but we can reprogram our minds so that we respond differently to different situations, or in other words, have different emotions when the same situations come up. Because again, we're conditioned. I hate to keep using the word program, but we're conditioned by society. God, it's really snowy here in the Catskills. Sorry to be redundant, um, but the thing is that it's subconscious also, and we have, according to psychologists, somewhere between 60 and 70,000 thoughts per day, and 95% of them are subconscious. The subconscious works strictly on programs. There's a program to keep our heart beating. There's a program for driving. There's a program for writing or for reading. So this is the subconscious mind, runs strictly on programs. And if we're 95% subconscious and we have 60,000 thoughts per day, basically we're thinking the same things day in and day out. We're not even aware of it. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts affect emotions. Emotions are power. They help create our reality. So we're basically perpetuating the same reality day in and day out, day after day, month after month, year after year, until we change that programming, until we change at the core what's causing us to have these thoughts, and replace them with a more empowering feeling about ourselves and the world around us. And that changes what we think about things, that changes our emotions, that changes our reality. So that, I believe, is the message. And yes, I do have my angel cards too today. So let's get a quick message from the angels, and we'll get on with our Sunday as well. And again, since a couple more people popped in, if you want to do an energy transmission with me and a healing with Heather Astara tonight, we're going to be on Zoom for new moon transmission to help us to strengthen and upgrade and to connect more with spirit, and to be able to heal and to clear old programs, right? To be able to heal and clear the old programs and come into the new beginnings of the new moon. So that's going to be on Zoom. If you want to get in to get the passcodes and everything, email us at info@atombetweentheworlds.com. And our angel card for the day or for the week is Athena, which to me, has a sense of empowerment, and it's interesting. It is safe for you to be powerful. I'm just looking at the card and I'm saying this feels like empowerment to me. And then I'm reading the little caption here. said it is safe for you to be powerful. Sorry, I can't even see these. Um, I should have had one of my magnifying glass. Anyway, it's safe to be powerful, I'm all right. I can't read this. Anyways, that's the meaning of the card. Like it's safe to be powerful, safe to be in your own power and in your own divinity and in your own root also. So I think that's one of the themes today is being really in your root chakra, being in your own power. And I wonder if I hold this at a distance. No, it's not going to work. Safe to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a kind and loving way, as well as to give to yourself and to give others. All right. So tonight on Zoom, Wednesday, I'm doing a very powerful transmission. I work with certain guides or energies that send energy through me, and I'm able to connect with people that are in the group. We don't have to be physically connected. It doesn't have to be the same time, and most people feel it. So and I get a lot of emails back. I've had people say that during the transmissions that their entire crown opened and they start to see this rush of colors coming in. So it's not me, it's spirit. I just serve as a conduit, just like when I do mediumship. It's not me, it's the spirits, and my only job is to open up and to be available for these spiritual entities or these forces to work through me. So we're going to do that on Wednesday in the channel. Then Sunday we do a mediumship event for the spring equinox. So the equinox is next Saturday. Next Sunday on the medium channel, I'm going to be doing messages from the other side for you. So these are all live events. And if anybody you think that might be interested in the work that we're doing, the medium channel is really about awakening. It's the spirituality behind the message, or in other words, the spirituality behind mediumship. For me, doing mediumship is a 24/7 spiritual practice, including sleep programs and working in dream time. So literally, my spiritual path runs, always. And even when I'm talking, I'm striving to be present and allowing spirit or my higher self to work through me. So that's what I have for you today. Thanks for joining me. And if anybody has a question about their own lives, watch this again. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but come back in when it's a video, and you can write a comment and write the question. And because the live comments are going to disappear. The live chat's going to disappear when I'm done. Oh, hi, that's Christina. Thank you. So we have Eastern Europe is being represented today also as well. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate your presence. So thank you, everybody, and be well. Namaste. And oh, yes. I always like to talk about my uploads. The last upload I did Thursday, and you have to forgive me. Like I said, I haven't been sleeping, so my physical brain's a little slow today. What did we just do? Oh yes, the 11 signs, the 11 signs of what? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I can't even remember my own videos. It's a popular video too. Oh yeah, the 11 signs of the spirit world. So yeah, that's been my for the first 2.5 days. That's been my most popular video. I can't even remember it. The trees are turning white. We are getting a full-on snow squall here in the Catskills. Supposed to go down to 10 tonight. And all right. So, and then next Thursday, I'm doing a short video on presence and how to practice the art of presence. And that's the single most important part of spiritual growth, because spiritual growth is decrease, not increase. You're already spiritual. You are spirit. Spirit having a human experience. You cannot get more spiritual than that. But there's programs and there's other things that prevent us from knowing who we truly are. And we get farther away from our true selves. So when you become present and you start to clear the thoughts and just become who you are, which is energy, which is spirit, then your spiritual path accelerates. And whether you do healing work, or if you do law of attraction work, or if you're a medium like me, if you practice presence, is going to be a lot stronger. So everything in your spiritual path get stronger when you make presence or mindfulness part of your daily practice. So you clear your mind, you become the observer rather than the reactor, and you just stay open and present, and that's how that works. Okay, so I'm gonna let everybody go now, including myself. Thank you again, and so much love to you, and so much gratitude for everybody that's part of this community and part of this channel. I appreciate you, and I love you. Thank you.